Typhoon Kammuri hasn't moved very much overnight, and its intensity remains very similar to where we left it last night, currently with winds of 80 miles per hour and an estimated pressure of 984 millibars at 10 a.m. Philippine time this November 29th. However, the risk remains quite the same. For Catanduanes, the CDPS is looking at a potential landfall on December the 2nd, and it's a stage 7, meaning that catastrophic impacts are possible from what would be potentially a category 4 landfall. This is still very much up in the air, however. Here's where the storm is right now: 14.4 degrees north, 137.9 degrees east. The wind field a little bit more even than it was yesterday, still a little bit lacking on the southern side and wider on the northern side. 895 miles from Tacloban, 953 from Legazpi, 985 from Naga, 1129 from Batangas, and 1130 from the capital Manila. The storm hasn't moved very much in the last few hours, and it hasn't been moving really towards the Philippines. It's been more due north than anything. And here is the current position. No warnings in effect at this time, so we are looking at a very clear looking map there. As warnings come back into effect for parts of the Philippines, you'll see it light up again in the various colours. This is the expected rainfall chart then over the next 7 days, the GFS model. Any pink areas that we see on the screen here denote rainfall amounts of over 75 millimeters in total, and it will exceed that by quite some distance in parts of the Philippines should this forecast verify. We're still looking at about 400 to 500 millimeters of rain, and possibly more in mountain areas and isolated parts of Luzon. At the moment, we're looking at that track taking it through Luzon and could indeed strike the Metro Manila area as a significant typhoon. Still, when it does move through there, that is probably a worst case scenario, but still very much uncertain because that's still around 5 days out. Sea surface temperatures around 28, maybe even 29 degrees Celsius, pretty much all the way up until landfall. And this now is the wind profile from the GFS. So again, there very large wind field becoming of the storm towards the northern periphery there. But as we get towards the end of the weekend, it will really consolidate once again, and then it makes its run up to the Philippine Islands, and we could see the rapid intensification phase occurring as late as Monday morning. And then by Tuesday striking the Philippines and then moving through towards the South China Sea. That is still rather speculative. We could see that rapid intensification phase at any point along this storm's track, and the trajectory could still change towards probably the north rather than south. Chance of tropical storm force winds in the next 5 days stand as follows: 56% chance at Virac, 51% at Naga, and 40% chance in Manila. That is the next 5-day period. This is what the rest of the models are saying. The HWRF and the CTCX there barely calling for major typhoon status anymore. Category 3 maybe pushing Category 4, a far cry from what they were saying this point yesterday. It's very interesting to see that change, but we still can't rule out this becoming a super typhoon later on as it heads towards the Philippines. It really depends on whether or not it does that rapid intensification phase, which the models of course won't really be expecting. So this is the latest satellite imagery. There's not really much to say about the storm's appearance today as we are right now. The storm has been looking not that great really on the satellite imagery, still blowing up very large cloud tops up to the -80s, but really the storm's structure, no sign of an eye, although we do believe that there is one embedded within all of that cloud. And we're just waiting to see whether that situation changes, but at the moment holding intensity as a Category 1 storm on the Saffir-Simpson scale, and we'll continue to watch this storm very closely. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colours wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.